Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Had so much fun doing the last reverse coloring book page on Tuesday that I'm doing another one today just because I just am having fun and this is what I feel like doing. So, here we go. This is the one I chose. What do you see? I clearly said this one has to be a neurographic doodle. It just does. I see neurographic doodle happening here today. So, let's start. I'm going to start with the ones that are clearly on top and work my way deeper. So we're just going to draw circles and decide whether we're going to let them be layered. I think I am. So I'm just going to do the top layers first. What I see as top layers anyway. They're kind of separated. From each other, which makes sense because if they weren't separated from each other, they wouldn't be on top. Can you see that? You can see everything I'm doing, right? But like this one's on top of a bunch of them, which is cool. The neat thing about doing this on a reverse coloring book is the page is nice and flat. If you did your own watercolor and then doodled on top, absolutely you can do the same thing and you don't have to buy a special book. But then you'd be doodling on warpy watercolor paper. So there's that. Can you see that one over here in the corner? Are you far enough out? Yeah, you are. Oh, look. I did a good job centering my page. Awesome sauce. Okay, so what goes next? Do I see another layer? Yes. So I think this one's next. These colors also feel very spring-like. All these lovely pastels. What fun colors. Could I do all one section first? I could. But I feel like moving around the page. So that's what I am doing. Moving around the page. Okay. And then I see this one. And I see this one. Let's do a question. Question O today. Let's do this one. Would you either walk around your block naked or expose your internet search history? I'd much rather expose my internet search history. You can see what I've searched for. That would not bother me. 90% of it is like uh, researching travel, art, or um, shopping. You can absolutely see my search history. Am I walking anywhere naked? No! Why would you do that? You know what? I actually think this one is on top of that one, even though this one's much brighter. I think that one's on top. Why? I don't know. That's just what I think. I feel like that one's on top of this. Now, I could draw through that, but I think I want them layered. I think this one's on top of pink. Now, do I want them neurographic? I don't know. Am I going to do something different than what I envisioned when I first saw the page? Possibly. That's a possibility. I want this one next. I think. Then this one. I think I am. I think I'm going to do something different than I initially envisioned a neurographic doodle. But I don't think that's what I'm going to do. Huh. Interesting. You know what? It's always, I find it fascinating to see what my brain does and how my thought process changes as my art evolves. And that's not just in pattern in patterning. Apparently, it's in other things as well. I clearly saw neurographic doodle when I started this, and now I'm not going to do that. I see something else now. Interesting. Very interesting. Now I have to think about. I saw something else in my head, but now I need to think about how to execute it. Every single one, I'm going to put it this direction. So you guys are going to see it this way, so it means I need to draw what I want this way. You guys see it? I think. I might want to. I'm thinking. I'm thinking. My little pea brain is having thought processes. I'm gonna come back with a thicker pen, but some of these little spots. Don't see. Maybe a little bit right there. I've gone quiet on you. Did I have a question? Oh, I already answered the question. Maybe we need another question. Let me do the parts that I have to think about first. And then I'll come back with the coloring in and I'll be able to pay more attention to talking. Okay, are we done? I think I'm done with drawing those edges, so let's make them fatter. All right. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Okay. That got a little out of hand. Let's make that a little thinner. This end. There we go. Okay. I could probably turn my heater off now. It's a comfortable temperature in here. One day I forgot to turn it off. I came back the next day and it was still on. My room was toasty. Well, not toasty, but it wasn't cold like it usually is. And I had wasted so much electricity. It made me so sad. But when it cycles on and off, and it had been off for quite some time because it had warmed up outside, I forgot I had it on. So we'll just turn it off now so I don't forget. How are you guys doing? What day is today? You're going to see this on the 11th? Okay, just making myself some notes. Making myself some notes. Because I have to write it on the calendar as to what day you're going to see this video. So when I upload, I put the right date on it. Lots of content creators, especially those who do contemporaneous videos, like they upload the day they make the video, or maybe the next day. They don't have to worry about that kind of thing. But I do. I have to worry about that kind of thing. I'm gonna want, I'm gonna want some highlights. I don't know why all of a sudden I decided to do them more like spheres than circles. Give them this dark edge. And then I'm going to do some shading. Yes, I think I'm going to do some shading. So what should we talk about? Let's see. Let's have another question. Do you have teens today, or do you think teens today have it easier or tougher compared to other generations? Both? I think each generation has its own challenges. Are there things that are way easier today than they were in the past? Absolutely. I think access to information and the information age and the instant access to information has made learning a lot easier. I mean, I can learn things so much faster. If I want to know about, we're going on vacation. You guys know we're going on vacation. We'll be on vacation most of the month of April. And we're going to the Panama Canal. And in times past, when I was in school, if I wanted to learn about the Panama Canal, I would have to get my butt over to the library go find books about the Panama Canal and hope that the book wasn't so out of date that the information was no longer accurate. Now, you still have to be careful to make sure the information is accurate, but you are more likely to get accurate, timely information on the internet for researching simple things like going to the Panama Canal. I can get reviews, I can get people's opinions, I can get thoughts on things to do in the area, all at the touch of my fingertips. That's amazing. But I did not have the pressures of social media. I did not have the confusions of things like gender identity. I did not have things like cyberbullying. There was bullying. There's always been bullying. I think there have been bullying since the beginning of time, but cyberbullying, totally different thing. I think some pressures on kids have gotten really, really hard. Things they now know. I think they learn about grown-up things, adult things, earlier than they should, because they have access to it. And I think that's a negative. The over-sexualization of our society, I think, has caused some major troubles. And then, of course, access to drugs has gotten way out of proportion compared to when I grew up. Am I saying that drugs didn't exist when I grew up? Absolutely not. In the 1970s, drugs absolutely existed in schools. Drinking and drugs was a thing in our high school. I just am saying it seems to be more prevalent, more easier access. Do I think that physical labor has gotten easier? Yeah. I don't think kids are expected to do as much physical labor as they were expected to in the past. My stepdad, when we visited his a couple years ago, when we did his family reunion, and I learned about all the hard physical labor he did on the farm when he was growing up. That was much more difficult to the kids these days. They don't have that kind of physical labor. I think more of the stressors on children nowadays are mental. We have a mental health crisis in this country, maybe around the world. I think certain pressures are much more hard on kids now. That was an exciting topic, wasn't it? I need a new question. Is this taking a little longer? Well, no, it's not really taking longer than I had anticipated. It's just taking however long it's going to take. Is it going to be another hour-long video? Might be, because I'm already at 26 minutes. But this is, look how much fun this is. I'm having so much fun. I am having a lot of fun. If you're not having fun when you're doing art, what the heck are you doing? Your art should be fun, playful. That's the best place to play, is when you're doing art. Because, it's not rocket science. It's art. And it's time to play with color, with texture, with pattern, with learning new skills, you know? Absolutely. Um, I am going to. I bought a new phone, and I needed a new wallet cover thingy. I like the wallet type covers. This is the one that fits. I am not overly fond of this color. I mean, I like the flower, the sunflower, but the rest of it is so dark. I'd rather have colors like this. This is just dark. My previous one had all sorts of fun light colors. I don't have one in here, but like I like my pop socket on this one, my pickle pop socket from Mariah Elizabeth. I like the fun, bright colors, or even pastels, but something more. That new phone case is just dreary. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to purchase. And the one I got for my iPad is also like that. I mean, it's boring. It's a deep, kind of a, it's a burgundy with some brown in it. So it's a sort of a chocolatey burgundy color. Not my vibe. But it's what was available at the time that I bought it. Um, Sometimes budget is a thing, right? Not for this phone cover. For this phone cover, right now, there aren't a lot of options on wallet style phone covers that are thin enough. I bought a previous one when I first got my phone. I bought one that I really liked the idea of, and it had this extra, like, purse bit on the side that you could take off, detach, and so you could have it as more like a purse, or more like just this wallet style. So like when I'm on vacation or I'm going somewhere and not just at work. At work I usually just take my phone in with that wallet style, with my identification, one credit card, and a couple of dollars in it, because that's really all I need. My little commute to work. But if I'm going somewhere and I need my whole wallet, um, then I have to take my purse. I'd rather not. But the problem with it is that the detachable part had a snap, and the snap was catching on my pocket. So I couldn't put it in and out of my pocket easily, and I need to be able to have access more easily than that. And it wasn't working. I really liked it. I liked the color. It was kind of this color, this turquoisey blue color, really pretty. But it just wasn't gonna be. So I sent it back, and I got this other one because it was a thinner style. So it fits in my pocket perfectly. It's exactly the size I want, but it's not the color I want. So I think I'm going to buy some Angelus leather paints. One of those, like beginner kits that doesn't have a lot of paint, but lots of different colors, because I don't think I'm going to need a large quantity of paint, but I'd like to have a variety of colors to choose from. And I am going to paint my phone cover. So I will probably make a video of it. I think I'll have to, what I'll probably have to do is paint the base coat without you guys, because I'll need to do it and let it completely dry before I put any like design or pattern or anything on it. You don't need to see me paint a base coat of primer, and then, you know, I probably will base coat the whole thing in maybe a white just to brighten it up, and then put a whatever color I decide I'm going to put as my base color. I'm thinking I'm going to go with this kind of turquoisey color because that's what really drew my eye to that other one. And then I'll put some kind of pattern on the top to have to inspire myself. So maybe that's what I'll do on the next couple of videos. We'll play with as a pattern that we might want to put on my phone cover. And then we'll plan that out. That's what I'll do. We'll plan out my phone cover and my iPad cover as ideas. I think that's what I'll do. I'll make some thought processes. What do you guys think? And you can come along with me on that journey, making plans, and then I can, like the iPad one, I might leave the cover the color that it is and just go on top for like an accent, because the color is not bad, it's just not exciting, but it's not horrible. As long as I got the little one out, I'll go into the little crevices with the little pen, and then I will come back with the bigger one. Okay. So why don't we do that? Okay, so now I've planned out. See, I just chit-chat with you guys, and then I come up with ideas. I have planned out what I'm going to do next is, I've planned that I'm going to plan. Does that make sense? I guess it does. I have planned that I'm going to plan. Now I don't know how the pencil is going to react on this paper. I will have to, maybe I'll turn it over and I'll play on the back, because I don't know if I need a dark one, like a 6B, or if I need a lighter pencil, like a 4B or 2B. I'm not sure. Okay, but so far so good. See, I love that. Yes, thank you. This is pretty. Okay, so I'm going to play with some graphite on the back. Put a little down and see what blending stump does. Oh, that stump belongs over here. Why is that there? Okay. That's the 6B. I'm not sure I like that. Okay, So this is the HB. Yeah, that makes a softer look. I like that better. Okay. All right. So don't have much of this pencil left. It's in a pencil holder. I love these pencil holders. You guys, if you don't know what one is, it holds your little stubby nubs. It's got a little shaft thing that with this ring that pushes up and it closes. See how it closes these little flanges and holds your pencil. Look how little I have left of this pencil. I'm going to use every last nubbin of it, but I can stick it in here and then I can push that up and it holds it, and now I have some place to put my hand. And it has two sizes, so you can do it for bigger pencils or for the standard size pencil. FYI, that worked great. Okay, so what do I want to do? I want to go anywhere where it's got a shadow over another circle. Like this. Okay, I'm going to stop and I'm going to blend as I go. So I don't forget where I'm at. Like that. Yep, that's what I want. Just like that. And then this one goes on top of here. That. This one's on top of here. And then this one's on top of that one. Just like so. See how those look better than these? Yeah. Yes. Yes. So this one's on top of here. This one has a lot of them on top. Just like that. And then this one. All right, let's do a question. Question. What's the one thing you admire about your parents? Explain. One thing? I don't think there's one thing. There's many, many things. My mom is one of the strongest women I know. She raised her girls basically all by herself most of her life. Dad, Dad, Dad was absent from when I was about 5 and my sister was about 3. And she made do in a very difficult time. The 60s and 70s were not, mostly, especially the 60s, but the 60s and 70s were not kind to single mothers. That was a very difficult time. I mean, you'd think single mothers have it hard now. No, the 60s was really difficult on single mothers. You were looked down upon significantly. Many employers wouldn't hire women who have children. But if you are the only breadwinner, I mean, how do you make a living if employers won't hire women with children? My mom said when she was pregnant with my sister, she actually kept her pregnancy a secret until almost the very last so that she could keep her job. Even when Mom and Dad were together, Dad was not a good breadwinner. Mom held us all together, and she's always done so, and she's done it with grace, with dignity. She's shown us what it's like to be strong, to be independent, to not let people tell you that you can't do something just because you're female. I guess you'd call her a feminist, but not like a feminazi. Does that make sense? Because, there's the extremes. But the idea that instill in us that the idea that women can do anything that they put their mind to, and that you don't have to be limited by the fact that you're female. And that was back in the day. That was not a lesson people were teaching their girls. People were still, when I grew up, people were still teaching their girls that if you want a job, you only had a job until you got married. And the jobs you did get were teachers and nurses. And that was it. You were kind of stuck with teachers, nurses, and secretaries. Clerical work of some sort. That was it. You couldn't do anything else, because clearly women were not capable of rational thought. I don't know, but it was a thing. And she says, no, you girls can do whatever you want to do. You can be whoever you want to be. She encouraged us to go to college and to follow our dreams and our passions. And even when she didn't have much money, she she found a way. She found a way. When my sister was really into horseback riding, she found a way to find a place where she could afford lessons and a spot where my sister could go and ride a horse when she wanted to, even when they didn't have a whole lot of money. By then, she had married my stepdad, my first stepdad, uh, and even though now there were two incomes, it was still difficult. wasn't an easy wasn't an easy bunch of. We were never well off, ever, ever, ever. But she taught us how to be wise with our money and what we do with it. She taught us the value of making choices. And yeah, you can absolutely find a way. You know you can borrow, you can barter for stuff. You can find a friend who has it and that they're willing to let you use it for a period of time, you know? You can do all sorts of things. My mom was just such a strong woman. And now that I am all grown up, I look back. I knew she was strong when I was growing up. I mean, I've always known she's strong. But as I've gotten older, I wonder how she even did all that she did at the time. That was how she had the energy and the drive to do what she did for us. The passion she had for her girls. She loves us unconditionally. Yet at the same time, we were required to, she didn't just give us the world. Even if she wanted to give us the world, she wouldn't have given us the world, even if she could have afforded it. Because she also instilled in us things like work ethic and if you want something, you have to put in the effort to get it. People aren't just going to hand you stuff. Oops, I didn't color that one in. I'm going to let that dry for a little bit before I smudge. We'll go on to this one. But she also showed us that she worked hard in her profession, and she became, even without a college degree, she got pretty high up in her company, and then to another company, and in order for her to keep her job, she needed a degree, and she didn't have one. But her company said that they would pay for her to go to college, and they did, and she got her degree in finance. She graduated college the same year I did. How awesome is that? Strong woman. She graduated college the same year I graduated college? No, that's not right. I apologize. That's not right. She graduated college the same year I graduated high school. Mom and I would sit down and we'd do homework together. I would help her with some of her artistic parts of her jobs. She had to make these charts, and uh, and she had to do them. It was weird. Back, of course, you didn't have a lot of computers to make charts for you, and she had to do all these financial pie charts and graphs, mostly graphs. And they had this tape, these thin, like pinstripe tape, in different colors, and that's how you would make your graph. So she would bring home the graph paper and the data. I have no idea what the data was. She would just say, you know, this is the graph has to show increments of 10 or 20 or 50 or 1,000 or whatever it is. And on a regular 8.5 sheet of paper, I had to figure out how many data points she needed to make her graph. And we would just make charts together. We'd sit down at the dining room table, and I would do the artsy part. 'Cause that's the part she didn't like. Numbers and figures, those were fine for her. Did she like the art part? It was kind of like arts and crafts. And she's like, this is stupid, you know. But that's what the company wanted. They wanted these fancy charts. I guess she was making them for presentations to show another company who was going to invest in their product or service or whatever it was. I know they did a lot of contract work for the government, and so they were trying to get government contracts, and they had to have this super professional presentation. And sometimes they were on big poster boards. Most of the time they were on smaller things, but sometimes they were on big poster boards, and they needed to look really, really good. So she would bring them home, and I would do her arts and crafts for her. And she would be working on her homework for college. We had this great relationship. Symbiotic. I would try really, really hard to get all my homework done before she got home from work so that I could work on her homework. Her work homework, if that makes sense. Gosh, I haven't thought about this in forever. Forgotten about those graphic tapes. They were fun. I had fun with them. But you'd lay down the colors, you'd make charts. Yellow meant this and green meant that. Now you just plop your data in Excel and it generates you a chart. Not nearly as fun, but then again, not nearly as time consuming either, because that was a lot of work. We would spend hours and hours and hours every week when those big projects were due, hours every week. But at least she could do it from home, and she brought it home, and she didn't have to do it at work and taking time away from the family. She could be home, she could be cooking dinner, we could be together, and I could help her with the stuff she needed help with. Was that child labor? Probably, but I was having fun. They don't let you do those kinds of things anymore. Bring your kid to work. Okay. Where am I at? I want a little bit of highlights on this side. Oh, nope, that's not gonna, you're not gonna see that. Let me do it with the paint pen. Where's my paint pen? There it is. 55 minutes. Better hurry. Come on. Are you making any paint come out of my pen? Nope. Ah! How am I going to get this done before you guys disappear? Because my camera only goes so many hours or so many minutes, and then it's going to turn itself off. If I suddenly disappear, it's because I've run out of battery or camera card time. It only lets me do 1 hour, 59 minutes or something. Okay. Come on. Oh, that's a big blob. Oh well, that's okay. It's all right. It'll be fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Okay. You guys have a great rest of your day. If I don't finish here in a moment, you will disappear. I might not be finished quite when you disappear, but okay, that looks good. That looks good. I've made a mess out of this pen. It's got a clogged nib. Let's sign it. Okay, that is done. That is not what I thought I was going to do today. I totally saw neurographic. That is not what I saw. But this was so much fun to do. I had so much fun with you guys. All right, so on the next video, we're going to plan what we're going to plan. We're going to plan the plan. We're going to make a plan to do the plan. Whatever. We've made a plan to do a plan. We're going to make a plan. That's what we're going to do on the next video. I need to figure out what size paper I need for both of those items because I kind of want to do them real life size. And I will see you guys later. I'm running out of time. All right, you guys go have a great day. Go out and do something nice for someone today. Make the world a better place, one person at a time. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.